Floss Tube, it's Rachel at Mainly Cross Stitch again. Today is Thursday, May 8th, and I am back with my whip into shape stitching. Today, Andrew ran 4 miles, which means that I am going to do the multiplier of 20 for that, so 80 stitches. So let's go ahead and pull a thread and get started. Hope everybody's having a good week. Here in Maine, it's definitely been spring, and I'm so excited about it. Been able to go outside with the kiddos. Everybody's been able to get some exercise. Here in Maine, we definitely feel that kind of a slump from the winter time lifting around this time. And it's really nice. Okay, so let's come in here and finish this row. And we need to do 80 stitches. If you're also doing this challenge, you can drop a comment below and let me know what you're working on. Also, you can drop your Instagram handle if you're posting your whip into shape progress. That way I can do you a follow. Yeah, babe.
Some of the jam dried on my face, so I had to scratch it off a lot.
Oh no, that must not have felt very good. I'm sorry, Pumpkin.
What's she doing?
I don't know.
Oh, she's grabbing more train tracks.
What you guys building?
I'm making a swirly track.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
And I'm making a track
I'm just making a regular track?
of what I want.
Mm-hmm.
No dying. Please. Thank you.
So yeah, we're in Maine. The weather's nice. Kind of curious where you're all at. How's the weather where you are? Are you in spring? Are you in the southern hemisphere and getting into fall? You able to get outside? I mean, we're pretty far north, so I feel like we're kind of always like the last to have that moment where we're like, yes, we can finally get outside. Everybody else has been enjoying the outdoors for the past 3 weeks, and us Mainers are like, it'll happen for us, we just gotta wait. Right, so here, and then 3 stitches. Usually I do Danish method for block areas of stitching, but I wanted to get all the way across this row. Yesterday we ended off with like 8 stitches in this row, and I didn't want to go forward and then back and end up in the middle of a roll. Alright, so now
Just
let's
have to grab
do,
myself some black thread.
check these all. Oops. Okay, so it starts here. 1, 2. If you're looking at this fabric and you're really confused, it's probably because you're used to working on Aida, which is great fabric because you can very clearly see what holes you're supposed to be putting your needle into, right? And I made a mistake here. I'm supposed to skip 2, not 1. It's great for beginners and for any type of pattern that's like full coverage. Aida is great for full coverage because you don't really end up seeing the fabric when you're done anyway. But if you've never stepped into the world of, hold on just a second. Sorry, my kids are playing with train tracks and they each have a vision. And it involves some of the same blocks. Yeah, so this is even weave, and so basically this is 32 count. So you stitch over double the fabric threads, and that's a little hard to explain, but basically I'll see if I can pop a picture up on the screen. Instead of going up and over into like a single box, you're going into 9 boxes basically, right? No, 4 boxes, sorry. There's 9 holes instead of 4. And yeah, you basically just make your crosses in twice the holes, right? And the benefit of this, I find, is twofold, right? So you don't end up with the weird Aida look on patterns that have a lot of background where there's no stitching. Second, you can very easily do fractional stitches and petite stitches and back stitch that runs through the center of a square or like the center of an edge. So I have recently fallen in love with even weave and linen fabrics for those reasons. They are quite pricier unless you get like a whole bunch of it at once. I'm gonna have to pause again. Okay, we're back. Hey, make good choices, please. Cooper, up. Cooper. Alright, go back across this row here. We're sitting at 16 stitches, and then once we check these off, we'll bump up a bunch. Just as a heads up for people who are maybe watching through all of these videos or following along as I put them out, my plan is that some of these videos are going to be just with music. Because honestly, some days the parenting gets a little tougher. Today seems to be one of those days. Yeah. So today seems to be one of those days, but I had not given the heads up yet, so we will do our best to kind of mitigate the parenting pauses. If you're a parent, you also understand. I'm a work-at-home mom, and my husband also works from home usually, but this week he had to go into the office. His team is fully remote, but once a quarter, his boss comes into Maine, and then requires that the team, at least the team that lives close enough, comes into the office as well, just so they can all be together sometimes, which makes sense, and it's totally understandable. I mean, all things considered, my husband has it really, really good. He gets to work from home literally like 95% of the time. And there are a lot of companies out there that don't still honor those policies that clearly have worked so well for so many people. So we're very thankful. We also only have one car, so because he's been remote for so long, having one car just made more financial sense. And we've kind of just stuck with that. Right, so now we're up to 43 stitches. Let's come down here and do this row. I don't think this will put us past 80, so.
Mommy,
Yeah.
look.
Wow, that's really cool. It kind of looks like a cloud.
Uh-huh.
I love it.
Mom, thanks. I'm going to grab the train to see if it works.
Okay. Careful, if you push down on the train too hard, you'll end up moving your track off the supports. So just keep that in mind.
I'm also putting this block right on the train track. So even if that does happen, the blocks will catch it and make it stay.
That's pretty smart. We're gonna run out of string here. Which seems about right. I can usually get about 50 stitches out of the length that I pull. My husband's birthday is actually this Sunday. 3 days away, that's right. He's really excited because he's into cigars, and everybody's been giving him money to put towards some cigars to put in his humidor. So he's like watching for deals to make sure he gets the most bang for his buck. It's adorable. Oh, good. Looks like you built it nice and strong. See how far we have to go through at the end of this row. So it's one past. I could probably make it one past with this. What? I know, he's gonna be so excited to get them. just gonna bring this one past here and then we'll pin it. We'll grab a new length of thread. I am planning on doing some more like tutorial videos here shortly. I've kind of sprinkled in some tips and tricks for working on your cross stitch from the front. So like if you have this kind of setup, or if you have a scroll frame that's really bulky and you're working on like a huge project, that type of thing. Again, I don't have scissors. Hey, would you be willing to go get me scissors?
Sure.
They're...
If you haven't fed the dogs already, please do that now.
We also gotta feed the dogs. They're over by my stitching stuff on the couch. What was I saying? For Mother's Day, I recently ordered my mom some linen, some 40 count linen. Yes, thank you. Some 40 count linen, and she got her like mostly set up to start my sampler that I designed, and she's super excited, but she also has never stitched over 2 fabric threads. She's also going to be stitching with 1 strand. What? That's really cool.
I almost forgot that I made this.
Uh-huh.
Does that look good?
It looks great, baby.
I folded, so I squished down one of the toilet paper rolls.
Mm-hmm.
And then I colored on each side with blue, yellow, green, and red.
Looks like you did a pattern.
Yes. And it's blue, yellow, green, red, blue, yellow, green, red.
Mm-hmm.
Look at pattern.
It is a pattern.
Yes.
That's very cool. Right.
Pattern of patterns.
I love your art project, but we really need to feed the dogs before Cooper breathes all over literally everyone.
He's already doing that.
Exactly. So yeah, my plan is to do some tutorial videos on how to stitch over 2 with 1 strand on like a linen, for example. And we'll zoom in real close and I'll show everybody like how to do the pin stitch and all that jazz. I think she's planning on putting it in a Q-snap, so that may not be as pertinent to her, but I think for those of us who like to work all from the front, that would be very helpful. I know there are tons of tutorial videos out there, but if I can zoom in real close with a nice high quality 4K camera lens and maybe high frames, like 120 frames, and do like a short video, that way it doesn't take 6 hours to upload to YouTube. I think that would probably be helpful for a lot of people. So that's what I'm planning to do. I'm also planning on like going over all the specialty stitches that are in my sampler. That way you're prepared to do whatever comes your way on that. And you can kind of use it as a reference for other over 2 stitching. And I'll do like chapters and everything, so you can skip through and find just what you need. So that's the plan. If I have time, I'd also like to turn that big video into like shorts and have maybe a playlist of shorts for just stitching on linen / even weave. And all the tips and tricks you might need for that, because I mean I'm by no means an expert. I've been back at this since February of 23, so a lot less time than a lot of people have, but I have also been in lots of cross stitch groups and like forums, and I've watched a lot of FlossTube, and I have a tendency to just learn everything I can about something when I get excited about it. I I know I've talked before on my channel that my PCP and I suspect I might have ADHD, and I have an evaluation scheduled, so it's unofficial as of yet, but it definitely appears that way. So yeah, I tend to really lean into a new hobby and just learn everything I can about it. So I'm like one of those beginners, but beginners that just went head first and kind of learned everything. So I know a bit about a thing or two, and if I can zoom in and show you guys and it helps you, then I would literally be ecstatic. So that's my plan. All right, let's cross off this long row. Oops. No, we're not frogging here. Only progress. No frog. All right, 73 stitches. We need 7 more stitches. So let's do these 4. It's 4 connected by 1 going left. 2, 3, 4, and then we'll need 3 more. So this was a bit of a quicker stitching day than yesterday, which is nice. I like the variety of numbers that are coming through for this whip challenge. Let's do 1. We'll just do full crosses. 1. Those will be starting with this thread tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. 2, 3. Alright, and let's set ourselves up for the next stitch when we come back. Alright, so that was today's 80 stitches. We did it, guys. If you were stitching along with me, let me know what you were stitching on. And I'm gonna go edit this real quick, slap it together, and then post it to YouTube. Bye, guys.